Now, I'm really pleased to be among such fine company, as I mentioned before. We are really putting together a remarkable team for the next general elections. We are going to have the experience, leadership. We are going to have the youth. We are going to have innovative thinkers. We are going to have those that fit in the middle. We are going to have doctors. We are going to have lawyers. We are going to have engineers. We are going to have teachers. We are going to have women. We are going to have the best team on offer for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I am privileged and humbled to be a part of this team. We have plenty of work to do. We started a journey many, many moons ago, and the people decided that they wanted something different. People have that right. But they have realized that that was a mistake. And now we need to turn back around into a new direction with a new team. And we are putting that team together. We have just 2 more announcements to make. And somebody is getting so frightened that the Prime Minister is taking time to victimize people, to victimize perceived political opponents of his. He must be frightened. So I am pleased to be here. Now, as we look at the performance of the TOG, the Harris Coalition government, they have had almost 4 years, and no one can point to anything new that they have brought to this country. Nothing new that they can say that they were the brainchild for. They continued projects that were there before. They stopped good ones, renamed them, and make them worse. Nothing new. They have not even broken ground and will not complete one foreign direct investment project here in St. Kitts and Nevis. None, nada, nothing new for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And in particular, even worse, in my constituency of constituency number 3. No new and exciting jobs. No new housing project in constituency number 3. No new anything. We had a play field here in Boyd's, which I was privileged to get started under the last administration. They can't even finish that properly to this day. Nothing new for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I want people to think about this very carefully. Had it not been for Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria, today, the people of this country and in this area would have gotten absolutely nothing from this government. Nothing. The least I would expect of any government after any storm is to help to repair the country. You can't get high marks for doing what you ought to do. And so just think about it for a second. If there was no Hurricane Irma and Maria, you would have gotten nothing from this government up until now. Nothing new. Nothing new at all. And so this cannot be the platform of achievement that they will stand on. So what I am going to do here tonight is just give a brief look at what you can look forward for with a new Labour administration. In particular, the people of constituency number 3. We need more housing. I mean, the government is moving much too slow. Under the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party, we were able to build almost 5,000 homes in 20 years. That's about 1,200 homes a term. This government can barely crack 200. I doubt they can find even 10 that they have built here in constituency number 3. So they are woefully behind. So we promise, we commit to restart that engine of home ownership in St. Kitts and Nevis. Just before the last election, we had committed to you that not only would we be building new homes, but we would modernize them. We would fit them with solar panels and make them ready for the new and exciting innovations in this century. And so we commit to continue that. The people of this area, Palmetto Point, Garvey's, West Farm, Boyd's, they want their housing as well. The people of camps who are close together, they need housing as well. The people of Buckley's estate need their housing as well. And as your representative with the government's backing behind me, I will ensure that the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and in particular the people of constituency number 3, have access to housing, so that not only can they shake their keys, but they can also pass on wealth and create wealth for their families. Have something of value that you can use to advance yourself and your family. It was not just about building a house when it came to labor. It was about empowering you. It was about you, giving you an opportunity. We had come from a place where our fathers and forefathers and our cane cutters could not own anything. And we made a determination that that cannot happen, and we will continue that. In my community here, between Palmetto Point and heading to Bastia, the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party government gave out hundreds of lots in the West Farm East area, in the Dewars area. And I recall being in pre-cabinet meetings, meaning when we went and we gave ideas to the cabinet. The discussions about putting in the infrastructure in these areas such that people can go and build their homes. And so we are committing to getting that back on stream. After 3.5 years, 4 years, they can do nothing with that, and that could be a significant economic engine for this part of the country and for the whole country on a whole. Just behind us here, there is actually a community center. Don't know how many of you know. Just a walk away from here. I had committed that as your representative in government, I would have modernized that so that the community groups in this area can have a real place to go to have serious discussions. So I commit to that. As Dr. Hanley mentioned, he had started to revolutionize the classroom, and in particular at Bronte Welch. He had some really great ideas, and I was glad that I was there to see the ideas. I don't think he spoke about the gym that he introduced in the school, right? Spoke about the computer and the cameras and the interactive blackboards and so on. We want to make that a model that will spread throughout the whole island. We have always been first in this Caribbean, you know, believe it or not, and we must continue to be first. This government has not been able to produce any new good jobs. None. We're just relying on temporary jobs, building a road 3 months and that's up. There is nothing sustainable that they have done. And so what the Labour Party commits to is to revitalize in our push to make St. Kitts a green economy with energy jobs that will open up our eyes to new technologies, whether it is solar, whether it is wind, and whether it is geothermal. We will revolutionize the energy sector in this country, that we might be able to supply energy to other Caribbean countries close by. That is the type of vision that we have for a future St. Kitts and Nevis. We have farmers and fishers and persons in tour operations and tourism and services and so on that need the assistance to push their visions forward. When we had the SIDF that was there to help persons who never thought that they can push to on their dream of owning their own business, we will revitalize that. We need to empower our people because it is small business. It is small business. I want to stop to recognize the great doctor from the great state of St. Peter's, Dr. Terence Joe. And I'm sure we will hear from him shortly. But we need to empower our small businesses. Under this government, you're hearing of how many businesses are going out of business. How many people have to close their shop or cut it in half because things are so bad. We will turn that around. The Honorable Ricky Skerrit is here. He had, along with the government of St. Kitts-Nevis, created an excellent blueprint for the tourism product in St. Kitts-Nevis. Bar none. And it's a good thing he did, because that is all that they can go on right now, because they have created no new ideas of their own. And so we are going to also revolutionize that, expand tourism to not just what we are accustomed to, but to health tourism and other types of tourism. I see a very good friend of ours in the back. Turn around and give him a big welcome. One of the things that is so very critical among our youth is sports empowerment. And so, as I did before the last election, and I do now, I commit that in constituency number 3, which is the home of the champions, village superstars.
So long.
Dr. Douglas says so long. Village superstars. And you know, once Konris is involved, if there's one thing the king know how to do is to repeat again and again. So I will be teaching them. The only problem is Dr. Douglas knows to do that too. And so one of the critical things is going to be sports empowerment. And so I commit to building a home play field and stadium for the village superstars and the Trafalgar South Stars and all of the teams in the village and West Farm and Boyd's Trinity area. On Wednesday, we mentioned that we are now in the age of advancing technology. And the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party will revolutionize access to high-speed internet to make it free so that we can create a digital community and be on the forefront of technology in the Caribbean. Now, before I give out all of our nice, I'm just giving the synopsis, I'm not giving the specifics. But just to whet your appetite that we are thinking about the next level. We are thinking about the next generation of St. Kitts-Nevis. We are thinking about how we can advance you. But right now in this country, there is a sense of anxiety and fear. And as Marcella said, unfairness. People feel as though they could be victimized next. They feel as though some that they need to stay quiet to safeguard their family and their bread. People are saying, if the Prime Minister can be so petty with a police officer and be so vindictive with his perceived political opponent, then what will he do with us? Just because we were in Sandy Point, having some fun, dancing to the new song and new slang, pin up your jacket, the cowardice and infantile Prime Minister got blue mad, blue vex, and went searching for something to try to embarrass the young, positive Leon Natter. Well, more people in St. Kitts now know about Leon Natter than ever before. People want to hear what Leonata has to say because they want to know why will the Prime Minister take time out of what should be a busy schedule to personally target someone he thinks is going to be running against him. He's not going to pay attention to a little nobody. So it got to be that he frightened. But what we want to say though is that despite all of the vindictive tactics of this government, the spitefulness, the complete abuse of protocol, because one of the things this government does not do is observe protocol. The opposition in St. Kitts-Nevis commands the support of the majority of the people in St. Kitts-Nevis. It is required in a modern democracy that you must respect that protocol. So therefore, if you are having an OAS meeting or conference here on corruption, you don't invite only government officials. You have to invite the opposition and all of the other stakeholders that may not necessarily have something nice to say about the government. When I was in Jamaica a few years ago to observe their last election, one of the things I realized that though Jamaica had had a very sketchy past with political fighting, violence and so on, is that they have matured to a point where they acknowledge and respect protocol. So Portia Simpson was invited to be a part of the process of the handover of the government. She was on the stage. I don't know if she spoke, but she was a part of the process. This government, and in particular Timothy Harris, is so petty that he cannot see beyond his own narcissistic views to be able to understand that Dr. Denzel Douglas, one, is more popular than you, is more charismatic than you, is a better leader than you, commands the support of more people than you, can't see beyond that and say, and more handsome than you. And most of all, he could pin up his jacket. He cannot see beyond that to ensure that protocol is observed. I mean, we have a past and former prime minister of 20 years. He should not even have to request to get something like duty free for his vehicle. Because when we were in government, Juicy Byron, Sean Richards, Dr. Kennedy Simmons, because the government at the time, we understood the importance of observing and respecting protocol. In fact, there was a document, a policy document that was created on how former heads of state and parliamentarians should be treated. And although it wasn't law, and perhaps it should have been made law, it was practiced by the government of the day. But when this government got into power, the Governor General was stripped of his security detail, while the other Governor General, whom they thought was supporting them, had his security detail until his death. The Prime Minister of 20 years was stripped of his security detail. These are not the things of a modern democracy. So what we are pledging as the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party is, although human nature may want you to say, they do me so, I must do them back, we commit that we will rise above that. We commit that we will rise above that. And whether we like the fact or not that Timothy Harris became the Prime Minister, he became the Prime Minister. And when he becomes the former prime minister shortly, we will respect him as the former prime minister. Because we are bigger than that. But I want to close off by saying that candy is coming. Candy. You know, like a sweetie. Candy or sweetie is coming. Sweetie? After 4 years of not doing anything for the people of St. Kitts-Nevis, Timothy Harris is going to bring you a sweetie. Just before the election. But that's all it is. A sweetie. You put it in your mouth and in a few minutes it's done. I want you to be aware of that. I was in a shop in the village earlier today. I asked the guy, how is everything going? He said, good. He has life, can't really complain. But then he said, you know what? No, we need a change of government. And he said, what I hope is that when we look back on the 3.5, 4 years and realize that this government was all about themselves, that when he didn't use sweetie, but when they come with the last minute thing, that people don't forget. So I am here telling you that a sweetie is coming. Believe me, it is coming. Whether it is a $500 voucher, whatever it is, a sweetie is coming. Do not be fooled. St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party is about advancing all and not just advancing some. It is about for the good that we can do. It is about how we can elevate you from where you are now to elevate you to a position higher than where you are now. It is to provide opportunities for your children and their children, because we have always been about the people's interests. And we commit here on this stage, and the two who will join us very shortly, to always be about your concerns. It will always be about you. So don't let the sweetie fool you. Do not let the small handout fool you. We are here to give you a hand up so that you can walk on your own, strive on your own, and make St. Kitts-Nevis a better place. Thank you very much.